Now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Retirement Railroad live stream Friday with live stream and possible mail calls. Steve is here. He's just having a little bit of technical difficulty, so he asked me to open the introduction. I'm just sitting here painting some little figures, so forgive me. Hope everybody has had a good week. Got plenty of Johns here, as usual.
Just in case somebody has diarrhea.
Yeah, that's true. You can never have enough Johns. You know that.
Hey, JB.
I think Steve's back.
Let's
now.
go back
Is your video good?
I am.
There he is.
I'm good now. And let's remove that one. And there we go. Let's tone me down a little bit here. So not as much in your face.
You didn't sound
not
too bad.
Tone. I mean, picture-wise.
Oh, picture-wise, yeah. We can always use less picture of you.
Yeah. All right. Big day today. Big day today.
Big. Good.
Yeah, I've been working diligently. I'm still painting people. Yeah, I think I started with 500 or 600 paint, and I've probably knocked off 100. Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm working on one of my mail calls right now. I'll tell you what. I know I sent you some pictures, and we can show them later, but these painted figures you buy online, which I know are crap, we know that, but I didn't know how much.
Those are the same
crap.
Those are the same crappy ones I'm painting. Those are the same crappy ones I'm painting.
Like the faces. They paint the face, but it's half the face and half the hair. Yeah. Ladies in dresses or skirts.
You want me to put that?
They paint them like.
You want to put that picture up?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, they paint them like they have go-go boots on or something. It's just horrible. And now
I'm getting there.
Okay. I hope my picture gave.
I'll get there eventually.
Good representation of it, but I knew they weren't going to be good, but they're a lot worse than what's showed in the picture. And I went in there to
because those same figures are you can get these same figures painted well. You just pay about twice as much.
Well, I must have paid the cheap price then, because boy, look at
Yeah, I think I paid $10 or $12 for 300 of them.
I think I actually paid more. I think I was around $14, $15 for 200. They come in bags like this, right? This is the one I haven't opened yet. Haven't even started.
Yep.
They're horrible. I don't know what else to say. They're horrible.
Yep.
But as those other pictures we have, where I'm putting them in the vehicles, it doesn't really matter. All you see is a blob in there anyway. But I did go ahead and actually paint their faces and hands, just so it looked a little better. But
you want me to bring those up?
Might as well. We're in that subject. This is one of my mail calls. Is the 200 seated figures. I know I was discussing last week about putting them in the vehicles, and
you want the. We'll start with this one, then we can move to the. Some thunder and lightning, joy.
Yeah, as you see in there, didn't take time to paint the bodies, just the hands and faces. But that was a close-up
So
shot.
56 or
So
57 Buick?
57.
57 Buick, yep.
Yep. Just looking for my other mail call, but
yeah, we had a 57. We had a 57 Oldsmobile, which was the same thing without the side markers on the hood, on the front quarter panels.
For you still see them in there, but and I do like these Oxfords because you can take them apart pretty easy to get them in there. But boy, did I have to carve them people up to get them to fit. It is tight in there. There's another one that I didn't take time to paint the body, and I may pull them back out again and go ahead and paint that upper torso just so you don't see shiny blue plastic, because that's part of the paint job they're calling. They mold them in different colored plastics, and
right.
If you don't paint them, they're just shiny. I probably should.
Here's the last one.
Probably should have just taken the time and went ahead and primed them all. Like that one there, the driver there, I didn't even take time to clean up that flashing on the side. But
now, realistically, John, once you put them on a layout, how many people are going to get this close to be able to actually even see it?
I realize that, Steve. That's just me and painting figures. That's just the way I do it. I guess I got spoiled by doing all the mini prints painting, and I got to get used to these crap ones again, like my 72 railroad maintenance worker ones. I still have another 72 to paint. Even they're better than these. But it's at least there's something in there, and it doesn't look like just a blank car going down the street. This
right.
one,
like mine, like most of mine. Most of mine. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I wasn't saying that. But if you want to say it, that's fine. Remember, it's your railroad.
That's right. I put 300. I've ended up putting 300 people in that bi-level seated in that bi-level passenger train, and I've come to the conclusion as it goes by, you can't hardly even tell there's anybody in it. Okay, let alone painted right. So,
but once
I'm working on this.
Once it's stopped at a station, you'll be able to see people in there. But then you have to have people standing up and walking through the.
Most of my Union Station, you'll never see them in there.
Well, yeah,
right? Because the trains are too close together. I mean, once the glass sheds are over the top, you're not going to see them. The bi-level sits on the siding over at Fairview, and you don't see them. All right, you might see them if they're stopped at Aurora. Okay, but you're still not going to get up close enough to tell anything. Now, I'm working on the my Athearn 72-foot bud cars, bud and heavyweights.
Yeah.
And for months now, I've been talking about upgrading them, putting lighting in. I got the circuit board and everything. Well, this week I got the rest of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can find it, there it is. My local Ace Hardware had the K&S stock number 1146. Whoop, I guess it would help if I change that over. K&S stock 1146 brass tubing.
Oh, okay. That's what you're going to run your lights through?
Yeah, I'll show you here in a minute. So I got that. I had the circuit board. I got that. All right. I already had the wire. The only other thing I was missing is the coil of cuttable form whites. So I ordered those and got it in. And so this week I've been working on lighting those cars behind me.
Oh, good.
What I can do is I can turn on a power and say, Alexa, lights off. Hey, Anthony. Alexa, lights off. There we go. And in about 30 seconds, I did a what I call proof of concept. I took a truck, and I'm doing a tip of the day on it. I got to edit it, and I wired it up with the red light, marker light on the observation, on the end of the observation. I don't know if you can see it or not.
No, your lights of your car are too bright to actually see them, at least in my picture. Yeah, no.
Anyway,
so
there's a red light back there.
Oh, wait. I think I do see it on the very top, the red light.
Yeah, right on top there.
Yeah. It is kind of blinded by the rest of the lights, though.
Yeah, well, which created another problem. The circuit board has big capacitor on it, right? Well, the capacitor's not big enough for those white lights. It worked great for the red light. When I just had the red light installed, it was great. No flicker, no nothing. It worked just as I thought it was gonna and should. All right. Unfortunately, once I added the cuttable lights, they draw too much power that it almost immediately drains the capacitor. Okay, so you get some flicker as it goes down the way. So what I did to combat that, and what I'm doing is, originally I only had one truck picking up power, each axle for each rail. So now I have both trucks, all four axles picking up power, and it almost totally eliminates any flicker. And we'll look here in a minute. And I'll tear a car apart.
What are those? Are those 12-volt lights that you're putting in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're bright.
Can you put in a resistor which will lower the lights and help the capacitor?
Maybe. And I say that is because in theory, yes. In practice, perhaps not. Because each one of the LEDs on that strip has its own little resistor.
Oh, okay.
So now what you're talking about doing is putting one resistor for all of that whole strip. Okay, and I'm not sure what that's going to do to it. I'm going to try it. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. But it's got to be after that circuit board, because before the circuit board is before the capacitor is the bridge rectifier and the phase changes.
Okay.
What some people will call polarity. It's actually phase when we're talking DC.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so I've got the Zephyr all lit up, and I got half of the Burlington Blackhawk. Because you'll recall, I bought a 10-pack of those circuit boards. So I want to make sure it worked. Now I only need 50 more. So
yeah,
I'll do my I'll do my cabooses as well. Yeah, like I said, when it was just the red light, the red marker, end of train light, the capacitor worked great, no flicker or anything like that. So if I change this around a little bit, okay, and All right, now I got that. Power's on. I got fired up. Oh, that's why. Yep. Yeah, fired up.
Like you, I bought a bunch
Say
of
what?
little. Like you, I bought a bunch of the little boards that I'm going to put in my cabooses. I haven't thought about the passenger cars yet because I really don't have that many passenger cars, and I have none that are track worthy right now. Anyway, still a lot of work to do.
Did you ever repaint the ones I gave you?
No, they're still no. That's another thing I haven't gotten to. I've got so much to do, and maybe now I have time to
Get
do
after it.
Yeah, well, now I have time since I got fired. I was given too good a customer service, I guess.
Uh-oh.
It's funny, they said, well, we don't need a greeter like Walmart. Well, yeah, no, I was just seeking out and finding customers and help them. I thought that what we were supposed to do. Of course, I got zero information from the manager there. She didn't tell me a thing about how she wanted me to work or anything. So I just did my normal thing, help customers. That's okay. I got a
bring
lot
this
to do.
back up, and I'm gonna make it solo for a second.
Okay.
So we can watch this train and the lights at some point. Now, one car is not on the train. I have one car off the train because I'm going to use it as a demo and show you how I did this. Here it goes by.
There it goes. Ooh, that one's real. Oh, a couple of those are real bright. At least on
real bright. That's a security camera on infrared mode, though. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Whoop.
Robert just joined us.
Oh, I screwed up.
Oh, it couldn't be the conductor.
Like normal. Yeah, never the conductor's fault.
Yeah. There goes the dogs. No, Duke. Did you throw a switch wrong or something, Steve?
Of course.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. But didn't run into the turntable, did it?
No. But anyway, there it goes around over on the right side. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It was. I'm going to say like they were firing me. Yeah. I'm going to turn that place. Yeah. I'm going to be like looking at Tyler. I don't know what that name is.
Yeah, that's hey Rick.
And then you add in there's 3 or 4 people there that smoke weed. I'm gonna put that whole store upside down.
All right. Anyway, let them run. So that's what I've been working on.
Well, good. And correct me if I'm wrong, Steve. You're making your electrical pickup out of the tubing, correct?
Correct. Oh, I did it again. Forgot to throw the switch the right way. Yeah, I'm going to show you here in a second.
Okay. Okay. That's what I was thinking, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Because I've had issues with wipers.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've been using is, this is why I'm not working on lighting on my cabooses, because I don't have any wipers. So I may have to think about using the tubing like you do.
As long as you have metal axles.
Well, I've been a little busy.
Dang it. One little forget. There. Oh. Okay, so let me Alexa, lights on.
Okay.
And switch this camera down. And move this out of the way. All right, so here's an Athearn car.
Why don't you go full screen
Passenger
with
car.
that, Steve? Cut me out.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah, so everybody can see it better. Hey, Sparky, how are you today? And Steve. how
Hey,
you
Sparky.
doing?
And younger Steve.
Yes. Well,
I enjoyed your Alaska and Japan video, Steve. Brought back memories of when I was in Japan. And my Shinkansen story. Okay, so we got this, and you can see here the tubing,
mm-hmm.
right? And I've cut slots in the bottom of the car for the wire, and you just got to make sure that there's little to no tension, and that the truck floats easily. Okay.
So
Then the pickup wires are just simply
a slot and not a hole.
correct.
Okay.
Now, this one here has a hole through the bolster, but it's a slot because the bolster pivots as well.
Okay.
But it's a slot in the frame. And I'll take it apart now. Okay. So now you can see the slots. Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I had to cut the weight. And originally I started with 2 sets of 3 LEDs. And I said, that's way too bright. So I cut it back to just 3 LEDs, and that's the minimum amount you can have on the cut points. So we're going to go ahead and add, because this car flickers, that's why I had it off. We're going to go ahead and add, now what?
And Dwight just joined us.
Hey, Dwight. All right, so we take this weight piece off, and I'm going to have to cut it as well. So you get out the handy dandy Dremel, and I stepped on my safety glasses. So I went and got another brand new package, opened it up, and there's no arms. What the hell? Doesn't do me any good. So, with that in mind, I have to wear my regular glasses. see. I should probably mute myself, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, why don't you mute yourself?
No.
No.
Watch all the
Okay.
stuff.
Sparks are flying. You like that, Sparky? Of course, I think Steve's going to use up one disc of his Dremel to cut through that weight.
No, I've done 7, 8, 9. I've done 10, and I've gone through 10, 20 because there's 2 on each. 19, and gone through. This is the third disc.
Eventually, we'll get through this. It's only an hour-long broadcast, so don't rush, Steve.
Not rushing. All right, so got that done. Eventually, I'll have to take this and I'll sneak it in underneath there for added weight. Now I got to take the truck off. Hey, Ian. And Mr. McCarville is with us. Yes,
JD.
I have a fire extinguisher.
Okay, that's what I was just going to say. He was asking that. You know, these Johns, they ask all kinds of questions like that.
Well, the majority of my career was as a corporate safety director for a Fortune 500 company. So I'm intimately familiar with proper safety procedures. That doesn't necessarily mean I always abide by them. What made me a good safety director was I've done everything wrong at one time or another, so I understand why they need to be right.
Now, Steve, with those slots on the bottom, do you have any problem with light bleed coming out from underneath the coaches?
No.
You know I was going to ask that question.
No, because the car is above it and you don't see it.
Oh, okay. I'm probably sure I'd see it.
Now I take the wheels out of the truck. And these wheels are Walther's wheels. I'm working with 2 types of wheels, Walther's and Intermountain. Intermountain are better. Walther's are good, Intermountain's better. And I'll explain why here in a minute. All right, so this bolster, I got to drill a hole so the wire can feed directly down to the axle. And before I do that, since I don't have the battery in that one, I got the battery in the other drill. We're going to do the slots, which are here.
Kyle is wanting to know what he
No.
just came in, and he's just wanting to know what he's missed. Well,
Hey, Kyle.
right now Steve's destroying one of his passenger cars, trying to get it lit. So that's what we're.
Well, it's already
currently
lit.
doing.
I'm trying to do away with the flicker.
Well, okay, same difference. And we already had a slight mail call. I had some supposedly painted figures, seated figures I bought, and yeah, I would use the term loosely about them being painted. There's have some paint slapped on them, and how I'd gotten used to working on my mini prints and how well they're done compared to these junk. But they're going in vehicles where you're not going to really see them anyway, so I'm just painting at them, trying to get the faces done and the hands done. And
now you got the seated ones. I got the standing ones.
yeah, mine are the seated ones.
But these are literally the same.
Yeah, I see your
But
faces up there half painted.
When you paint them, when you end up painting them, they end up looking pretty good.
Yeah, especially for something that's not real visible. You see the shape, and that's about it.
Background noise.
All right.
Now, there's a couple things I do while I'm in here doing all this to make these ride better. I'll show you that too. Like I say, the Athearn cars are the cheapo cars, but they run on 18-inch radius. And most of my rolling stock I've had since the 60s and 70s. So when I had 18-inch radius, even though this layout isn't. So there's some areas here, part of the frame detail, if you want to call it detail, molded detail, can get in the way and bind on the truck. So I just slice it away. All right, and eliminate that possibility. Because again, we're on the underside of this thing, and nobody's going to see it. And if they want to look and see it, hey, fine. But as I've always said, I'm not prototypical. I'm proto representative, and I simply don't care that the underside here doesn't look perfect, right? Because I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to get under there and look.
Well, and it's your railroad, so good morning, Jason. How are you today?
Hey, what's going on, Jason? You on lunch break or you off today? Right.
At least one good thing with this video, Steve, I can see that my workbench isn't as dirty as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, a lot of times since I rearranged the room, I'm now at my computer desk where I'm painting my figures instead of over at my painting station. That's well, not quite as dirty as yours, but it's a mess. But that's where I have all my good lighting over there too.
I had my painting project going on, right? And then these parts started arriving for the lighting project that I've been talking about for months. So I wanted to get after it. Okay, I want to put this back on now. As soon as I find the screw for it.
You got one comment. That workbench is worse than my junk drawer.
Hey, you guys don't watch what is it, second section on Tuesdays after Heath? There it is. With the guys from Wisconsin. Second section. Ostertag and oh gosh, what's the other guy's name? I can't remember off the top of my head. But they post pictures. That's the big thing on theirs, is who's got the best workbench, and they judge best by the messiest.
Oh, okay.
But you got to have taco sauce to get the extra points.
Oh, okay. What, dripped on there or as a coloring for figures?
No, taco sauce. It's a long story, but it goes back to Split Rock, Thomas Gassier, and I forget the other guy's name up in Minneapolis. And I forgot which one of them coined the phrase. One of them liked to use it all the time. I think it was Split Rock. Uses it on everything. And the other guy was doing a review of the weathering that was done and said, this stuff is like taco sauce. He puts it on everything. Well, that saying stuck.
Okay.
All right, Lee, thank you. So, and what it is, it's Tamiya, the panel line, it's like a wash, okay?
Morning, plumber.
So now I can put this back on. Plumber! All right, the Steves are catching up.
We still got a lot of Johns on here, though.
Well, Wiggy was on. Plumber. Steve 87th, younger Steve. Me. So.
So for those who just joined, what Steve's doing now is he has this passenger car that he had put pickups for the lighting system only on one truck. Now he's adding, and he was getting some flicker even with a capacitor in there. So now he's adding pickups to the second truck to try to eliminate the flicker.
Well, it'll still flicker slightly. Okay, I already know that because I've already done it to 4 of the cars or 3 of the cars. All right. So, but it won't be near what it was. There we go. I had to trim that out a little bit more because of the pivot of the truck. All right, so we got that. Where is, I want this. Because this, oh shoot, gotta take this back off. Gotta slide the weight I took off back in. Why do you feel so alone, Robert? Because you're a prototypical modeler? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying I'm not. Okay, that goes right down in there. And now we're cooking with gas. I guess I should have started that train. Oh well. Got that done. All right. Next thing. I need two mints in one. All right. Now, one thing you got to do after cutting these brass tubes is you got to do some filing. Because there's burrs.
Yeah, those burrs wouldn't like the wire, plastic around the wire much.
Well, the burrs wouldn't even get to the installation. That's not the problem.
Oh, okay.
The problem is it keeps the tubing from sitting riding equally across the axle. Okay. Instead, it would be riding on the burrs. Once you do flatten them out, then a little round file, round. So where's Hurricane Lee supposed to go to? I haven't even looked.
Yeah, I don't keep as much track of the hurricanes as I used to since, we're all we get here in Middle Tennessee is tropical storm force winds, which I get, 9 out of 10 days here anyway.
Robert, I did not start a fire. And I'm not leaving the area for 30 minutes, which is part of the OSHA standard, by the way, welding standard. Okay, so I got these two tubes ready to go. And I've got a wheel set. Now, like I said, this is a Walters wheel set. And when I popped off the wheel, the first thing that happened, it doesn't always happen, is the insulator came out. So that's got to go back in there. Okay. See?
Yep.
You may or may not see the plastic. Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm going to pop apart. I'm going to pop apart an inner mountain and show you the difference. A, the insulator doesn't come out. But B, see the difference there?
Oh yeah, it's got a reduced shaft that actually goes through the wheel.
Exactly. So when you put the wheel set back on, all right, it gauges the wheel properly.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. When I buy mine, I buy them in a brown box, and I don't even know what kind they are. I just buy 100 of them.
Yeah. Now the inner mountains, the little insulator is much, much smaller than the Walters. Walters is the same as the Bachmans, by the way. All right. So, as a precaution, and I really don't need to do it on the Bachman, but I'm going to do it anyway, is I take, first I'll put the tube on. All right, but then I take a red fiber washer. Okay, red fiber washer.
Mm-hmm.
And put it on there so that And there's not a big likelihood of it sliding over because you've got to remember the wire helps to keep it centered. It helps to keep the tube centered on the shaft so that it doesn't slide to one end or the other. But I do it just as a safety precaution. And now I'm looking at my wheel gauge, looking for my wheel gauge that I had not too awful long ago this morning. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Huh. All right. Where's my wheel gauge?
Yeah, I can't remember what I pay for the pack of 100 wheel sets, but it is a lot cheaper than
Typically around about $70 or $80. Whether you buy Walthers or whether you buy Intermountain. And depending on who you're buying them from, of course. But like Caboose Stop Hobbies, I picked up a pack of 100 36-inch wheels when I was up there, when I was passing through and visiting with Carol. All right. I am pissed. Where the hell did my wheel gauge go?
It's probably there on your desk.
It fell down. It fell down. Go boom. Since this is the Walters, I have to re-gauge it. Unlike the Intermountain, I just slap it on and it go right to where it's supposed to be. That's pretty darn close. A little less. There we go. All right. That's one. At least the insulator didn't fall out that time. Now, I could have made these tubes a little bit longer. And when I first started the project, I did. But again, I was afraid of the possible shorting out. So I started making them shorter.
Plumber, if you pay $120 for a pack of 100 wheel sets, you need to look around because I know I don't pay that much. I think mine's around $70, $80 for a 100 pack from Zitnick's in Pinellas Park, Florida, where I still get all my stuff.
Call Carol at Caboose Stop. Well, the problem you're going to have if you're ordering them online, you got to pay postage and all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah.
Now, at least Caboose Stop, you can save up. You know, you get a couple $100 worth of stuff and pay the $15 worth of shipping, and you're still way ahead of the ballgame. Okay. All right, so I got those. Now, I need some wire. Doo-doo-doo.
Is that speaker wire, Steve?
Huh?
Is that speaker wire you're using?
No.
No?
Robert, these are blackened too. The Intermountain ones are. These are blackened. The reason I don't like KD is I can't tell. What did I have to drink? I don't know what you're talking about. I'd love to have an adult beverage right about now. The only thing stopping me is the fact that I'm locked in. The only thing I don't like about KD wheels is I can't tell which is the insulated side. I'm old. My eyes aren't good enough to tell.
Yeah, I usually can tell which one it is.
I do have a few cars with KD sets. That's not that I dislike them. All right, now we got to plug in the soldering iron. All right, and I got to take a look and see which way I want. So this side here has to be red. Red. That way with it. Okay. Time to tin. Well, hell, it helps when I turn the soldering iron on, huh?
Usually, otherwise you have to use friction to get it hot enough to melt the solder.
Well, that was pretty stupid of me. Huh.
Put them both on the same side?
No. I used the same color wire on the original truck, and I didn't realize I'd done that. And I would never knowingly do that. So that was probably after I had a drink or two the other night.
Yeah, those adult beverages can affect your abilities, that's for sure.
It was either that or 3 o'clock in the morning when I was didn't have anything better to do.
Remember a long time ago when I used to work at the grounds maintenance company, during the winter, we'd always paint a vehicle or two. And I'd work with my boss doing this. And we made sure he had an adult beverage before he started painting because it made him paint better. So you could tell when he wasn't
golf game.
Run.
My first three or four holes are terrible. My next 9 are great, and the ending ones are terrible. It's all because alcohol.
So in your mind, Steve, the tube pickups on the axles are better than having the wipers on the axles?
I think so. There's less drag.
How about conductivity? You think there's any difference there?
Yeah, it's going to be better with the tubes, especially over time.
Okay.
Because it's a constant tension. The tension will never change, whereas on wipers it does change.
Yeah, I could see that. The spring in the wipers will change for sure.
Whereas the tubes don't change unless gravity changes.
Yeah. Now, none of the axles are painted, right? That you're using?
No.
Okay.
No, they're not painted. They're blackened, but they're not painted.
Okay.
Now I'm feeding the wire through that hole I made in the bolster. Slipping it in, pulling it down. There we go. So that's good to go. This one can go this side. Let's go to the other side. Feed the wire through.
Anthony, you have a good day.
All right, Anthony, we'll see ya. It's raining today, so I might be able to make it to your screen. If it's still raining this afternoon. Okay, so these are in. And they, you know, you cannot feel any tension or any drag off them. Okay. So now the next thing is I have to connect these to the circuit board. Now, the question is,
Which side is which?
Yeah. So this side over here is where this one's got to go to. And this is the hardest damn thing right here. Oh, that's good. Good.
Yeah, don't you love it when you get a good solder the first time?
Yeah, where the wire doesn't. Well, the problem is the wire pops off of the circuit board, and then you're trying to wire both of them back on.
Of course, now when you're from here on, when you put the two pickups in, or both truck pickups in, are you going to twist those wires together before you solder it to the circuit board? Or are you going to try it the same way?
It's all done, John. It's already done.
No, I'm talking about future ones.
No.
No, okay.
Because when you twist them together and you solder them, then you go to solder to the board, they come undone anyway. So, at least that's been my experience. All right, so now you can see the wires through the windows, and this goes back to the discussion about people and interiors. I was originally going to put interiors in these and painted people, and you know, I got thinking about it, and these $10 cars are not worth spending an exorbitant amount of money on people and an exorbitant amount of time on paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to frost the glass over. I'll probably pull out the Athearn glass panels and just put in acetate that has been spray coated with matte finish.
Okay.
We're going to test it out here. Well, there's no short. That's good. There we go. Very little flicker. You guys can't see it, so we'll have to put it on the train. And let's see, 1, 2. It'll be the third car back. You got the engine, then you got a baggage car, then you got a diner, and then this one. Now, all of these have pickups in them. They're all lit. Only some of them have the dual pickups. The last 3 cars or 4 cars? Now it's the last 1, 2, 3, 4, I think the last 5 cars have dual pickups. Alexa, lights off.
Okay.
Yeah, we were having a discussion earlier about putting people in passenger cars and putting them in like I was putting them in my vehicles. Uh, yeah, you're probably not going to see them. You know yourself whether they're in there or not, and it's your railroad, so all you got to do is make yourself happy, and who cares what other people think?
Right. Well, it's we build these to display them, hopefully with other people.
Yes.
But the other people, for the most part, at least for me, are not going to be prototypical modelers. They're just going to be visitors that don't typically even have a clue about model railroad.
Correct. Yeah.
And when people come over here and look, they're just oohing and ahhing over the little details that I have already.
Yep. That's correct. Even though I don't have my
camera on. Now you can see it going back there through Berwyn Cicero. Go solo layout here. So yeah, it's looking good. I mean, again, when they go over to my pencil frogs, there might be a little flicker. Some of the dead joints, there might be a little flicker. There's the dome car that has me baffled. I've had that thing apart 3 or 4 times because it's got double pickups and it flickers a lot. But the rest hardly flicker at all.
Some of your passenger cars that have the people images in the window, is that just the black silhouettes that you can buy and stick on the inside of the window?
I'm actually pretty happy with it.
In that last picture, you could really see the red light in the back of it.
Yeah, it's bright. Yeah, you should get a good picture of it when it goes through the farm scene, the upper left-hand corner. I got one more of those cars to do. Now I have to order 50 more of those circuit boards.
And what are they?
I mean, the first 10. Well, the first 10 cost $7.20, something like that, plus $5 shipping. So I priced out 50, 5 packs of those, and so it was $36 plus $6 shipping or something like that, $7 shipping. So hey, Ray. Yeah, I got rid of all my metal truck rolling stock, plumber. I switched them out. I didn't get rid of the stock. I changed out the trucks. And all those spring, all the old 60s, 50s, and 60s spring-loaded trucks. When I first started building this, I had nothing but problems. Now I should get a nice red view of the red in the train light on the upper left. See it? Lights up everything red. I don't think the Athearns ever had the silhouettes, plumber. The Tycos, Mantuas did. There were some others that also did, but I don't think Athearn ever had them. If it was before 1965-ish. Hey, hi. All right, let's do some switching. Let's send her around this way and that way. We'll send her around behind me this time. So we'll change pictures. This way. Actually, I'll go this way. Should be coming out of right behind my head. There it goes. See how that dome car flickers? Yeah, I love how back in the day they would advertise, spring-loaded trucks. Like they really acted as a shock absorber. When they didn't, all they did was rust and stick and cause shorts. Now, John, I do have one other thing on order. That'll be a mail call for next week. Something I've needed forever.
A good conductor?
No. Brain, if I had a brain.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. It has something to do with a lift out section.
No.
No, okay.
Well, maybe. It depends. The lift out section's affected by it, but it's not.
Yeah, something about changing.
Not just the lift polarity. Yeah, an auto reversing AR1.
Very good.
I ordered an AR1. No, I'm not. Those passenger cars are $10 cars. I'm not. All I want to do is put cheap lighting into them. All right. I know I could put decoders in there and be able to turn them on and off. And no, I'm not going to do that. Yep, Ray, we're on the same page. Exactly.
Well, I had one other mail call.
Well,
Wasn't
what
really,
is it?
it wasn't really a mail call. I actually went to the store and got it. I'd lost my 10-aught paintbrush that I use for my figures. I can't find it. I don't know where it went. So I went to one of my favorite stores, Hobby Lobby, and I got me an 18-aught paintbrush, and I got a 20-aught paintbrush. Now these are tiny, 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 itsy bitsy brushes. If anybody knows the grading of brushes like that, so I think I can even like paint eyeballs and eyebrows with this.
Well, again, you know what my response to that is.
Well,
why?
Why? Because
now, if we were O gauge, I could see that. Okay.
I understand that, Steve. It's just like I like to try things, and plus, I find when I'm painting my figures, especially the good ones from mini prints, I like to try to do a real good job with it. To really see the detail, I have to wear these. But oh well, that's why I bought them. And again, it's my railroad, so we do what we want to do.
Well, I have another mail call.
Oh, great!
I got something in the mail from Rayron. Rayron VR, and I found out that VR does not stand for virtual reality. It stands for his real name.
Oh, okay.
So I'm opening this up. And Rayron is not his real name. Okay, I got it. It says, Steve, thank you for sharing your tips and layout with the community. I enjoy tuning in on your streams to help my workday go faster. All right. Thank you. And then for those that aren't familiar, Rayron and the Ice Dragon. So here's his sticker. And my desk here has some glass doors that all my stickers go on. So I will get that put up there later today. Oh, there's Rayron. So.
See, you got to watch when you're talking about people. They all of a sudden show up in the chat.
That's right.
I don't have many stickers, but I put them on my test track that's back over here. Right there. The only one I got up there I haven't mini prints.
I haven't had stickers made yet. Too busy spending my money on stuff I need for the layout. But eventually, I'm sure I will. The Rayron, I don't know if you know, my wife was born and raised in San Antonio, over close to North Star Mall, San Pedro and Oblate, and Blessed Sacrament Church there where we got married. We lived I was down there for 8 years, and after we got married, we bought a house out in Converse. So, and all of our kids were born. 2 of the kids were born at Northeast Baptist, and 1 out at Live Oak. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Hi. So icy. There you go. Well, I'm tickled to death. When I first put this the Zephyr together, and everything was flickering, I was so dejected. But look at it now. There's, like I said, there's some slight flickers, but nothing except for the
dome car.
And I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. Yeah, dome cars drive me nuts. I've had that apart 3 or 4 times.
Hmm. Well, maybe you need to change the
I
axles
might. No, I did that.
Okay.
I changed Walters Intermount, and that didn't have any effect. So, anyway, yeah, it's not hard to change wheel sets or take them apart or anything like that because you just pull the wheels out.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, all right. So next week will be the auto reversing, and let's just run the train through and show why I need. I figured out what was happening, John. I was watching Northern Cascade, Mondo. No, not Mondovi. I can't remember the channel name. And he was having the same identical problem on his reversing loop, where the train would come around, it'd get back to the reversing, and it would stop and then restart. Well, he was talking with Digitrax and spent an hour or so online with them. And he said, let me try something out. And he had an old AR1. He pulled that out. And because what he was doing is the exact same thing I had, using the power management board, the reversing option on it for the auto reversing. And as soon as he put the AR1 on, it worked fine. And the reason being, the auto reversing on the board was working against itself. See, there it goes. It stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's going to start back up again. Okay. I'm pointing at it. You guys can't see.
It's that way. It's that
hang
way.
on. Let's it's right here. The lower left picture. You can see how it stopped there. And it's not because the switch is thrown wrong or anything like that. And
and then of course when I was there, I'd have that problem, and since my engines are all set to have the startup process, it'd sit there even longer because then it had to go through the startup process again to.
That's what this one was doing too. So anyway, as soon as he put the AR1, where it was a separate reversing circuit from the power management board that was trying to reverse and trip from the short circuit, and it was working against itself.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm hoping that solves my problem. All right, now I got to go in the opposite direction.
And I'm thinking about, Steve, Zitniks has their sidewalk swap meet in November.
Yeah.
I may have to come down.
I got a room for you.
Yeah, I may have to come down and have to bring a few trains, and since I can't run anything on my account. But I hope that
we'll put the band back. We'll put the band back together.
Yeah. And Steve, I have missed it. I really enjoyed my, usually Sunday time over there to run some trains.
Oh, and plus, since in the 2 years or year and a half since you were here last, I've fixed so many things. The layout runs pretty much flawlessly now.
Well, and it's not only fixing things, Steve. You have done so much construction of buildings. I mean, your Union Station area was nothing but a storage spot. For tools.
Paul, I could put in a bigger capacitor or keep alive, no doubt. Again, these are $10 cars. How much money do I really want to put into them, right?
Yeah, I think I'd take a little flickering over buying a larger capacitor. You know, unless you could find a cheap one that would
The
work.
capacitor that's in them, is built into the board I bought that has the bridge rectifier and such.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I get the same boards. I haven't found them since I moved, so they may be someplace. But yeah, with we're getting into fall here, and my grass will start slowing down, so I'll have more time to work on things. Of course, I may not have the money to work on things. I may have to get a GoFundMe site set up so I can have train money. Yeah, it's.
Hey Ron, I don't go by speed steps like that. All my locomotives have been speed tabled down to a max speed of 70 miles per hour, HO scale miles per hour, plus or minus a couple. So I go based upon percentages of that. All right. And 70 miles per hour on the racetrack in Chicago is extremely fast. I mean, the Zephyrs don't even do that. They're probably doing 55. Freights are doing 25 to 35. Commuter trains, depending if they're express or locals, are running 45-ish. Yeah.
I think it's so much better when people run their trains at a slower speed. One like me, who's going to have a smaller layout than yours, if I was running them at full speed, they go around the room every minute. I think with our new DCC and computer chips in them, my goal is to see how slow I can make an engine run and still run well.
Again, I see people, having these trains creep along. And, I mean, unless they're in a yard or entering the yard, they don't go that slow.
Yeah.
At least not in my experience. They got places to be. They don't make revenue going that slow. So I try to run my freights at about 35 scale miles per hour, plus or minus.
Hi.
Let's see if I make
I'll probably be in the Netherlands in the next couple of years. Actually, my daughter is coming from the Netherlands to the States in October. And I got to save up some money.
I'm going through that reversing loop. And now it's got to start back up again. This is why I need the AR1.
Yes.
So it doesn't stop like this. And every car will switch will trip it. So that's why I was trying to get away with one set of trucks. But that didn't work so well. See, the next car, it trips it. Because you got one set of trucks on one polarity, another set of trucks on another polarity or phase. And it wasn't a problem until I put lights in the car.
Well, there's a problem, just not that big a problem.
Yeah, there is a reversing loop board, but like I said, it's working against the power management short board on the same board. Okay. So I got it turned back around. Run it one more time around.
You see Ray's question there.
No. Yes, I see his question. No, it's not longer. That's not the issue, Ray. The issue is on a normal reversing, there's no problem because it's one engine going across from one section to another. But with a lit train, you got the engine, then a car, then another car, then another car, then another car. All right. And when the reversing circuitry is on the same board as the short circuit circuitry, they're going back and forth against each other. At least that's what us, the Cascade, the subdivision, I can't remember the guy's name, but it makes perfect sense. Once he said it and showed how he fixed it, it made perfect sense. And I alluded to that same thing with John here a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you recall, John.
Yes, I do.
I kept saying I need a separate reversing board. And I wanted a solid state one, but I ended up with the mechanical because the cost was half as much. We'll see. If it doesn't work right, then I'll go with the digital one. Right. Exactly, Ray, because it's separate. The AR1 is separate from the power management board. This is short circuit protection. Okay. And that's why I just ordered an AR1. Yeah, you would not have that problem because you have a separate auto reversing circuit. Whereas the PM42 can be set for short circuit, has the 4 circuits, and you can set them for either short circuit protection or auto reverse. Okay. Well, when you mix the auto reverse on one and short circuit on the other for the same leg, all right, that's when you have the problem. That's when I have the problem. That's when the other guy had the problem, etc. So by moving it off, we're having one board for short circuit, another board for auto reversing, solves the issue. And we're going to see next week.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked for the other guy, and I knew I needed to do it. Now it's just a matter of me wiring it right. The other thing is the longer the train runs, I mentioned the burrs on the axles, on the tubes. The longer it runs, the more it, for lack of a better term, the tube seats itself onto the axle. Ray, I'm glad you understand because sometimes I wonder if I explain it right or not. I know what I'm talking about to myself. I don't know that I'm explaining it properly half the time. But.
Yes. Well, and Steve, that's why sometimes I ask you certain questions that I know the answer to, but maybe somebody else doesn't.
Yeah, I understand. I do the same thing.
I try to be a good sidekick to you.
You're a good straight man.
But yeah, I hope to
All right.
get work done.
Man, we went an hour and a half today, John.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I got plenty of time now.
Not at all. I may take the dome car and use that as the test for the resistor. Put a different resistor in and tone down the whole thing to see if it takes away some of that flicker. But it's not flickering as much because I think again the longer it runs, the less. Yeah, there it goes again. The less
Yeah.
flicker. That's good.
Just as it went across that switch there.
We call it flicker, faster than lightning. Oh no, the president's on. We're gonna miss flicker.
Yeah. But don't forget, end of quote, repeat line. Yeah, that's something.
All right. So hopefully I shared some, if not, maybe not something everybody will use, but at least add to everybody's knowledge base. Like I said, I don't always do things the way other people do, but I do like, in theory, this using the tube instead of wipers.
And what size tube is that you're using?
And it's it says on here 3.97 millimeter by 0.355 millimeter. Okay, or 5/32 by 0.014. The easier way of looking at it is K&S Precision Metals, stock number 1146.
K&S?
K&S Metals, who does, anybody that's bought brass at a hobby shop, it's going to be typically K&S Metals. Now, I got this at Ace Hardware.
Oh.
So I got two because I wasn't sure. I took the measurements of what I needed. And where's the brass? Oh, crap. I just dropped it down. Oh, I didn't. I also bought K&S stock 1145. But it is too small. The internal diameter is too small for the axis. So I got to take this one back and get another one like the other.
Yeah, I've got some brass tubing. I got to check and see what sizes they are. I bought it for doing some lamps, some light poles. May change my mind on that, and as I said, I'm saving up these little cone-shaped caps that I get on one of my medicines. I paint the outside green and the inside white, and we'll put a 0.5 millimeter LED light in it and hang it from a pole in my yard once I start making my yard. And then I'll probably have one outside of each stall on my roundhouse.
Ray brings up a good point. If you're a train that has pickups, like passenger trains, or could even be a caboose on a freight. If you're picking up power front, back, or throughout, and your train is longer than your reversing loop or reversing section, it will do the same thing I'm talking about here. It'll start oscillating, tripping back and forth. So thanks for bringing that up, Ray. That is an issue. My reversing, the longest I run is 7 to 8 passenger cars. All right, because that's what will fit in Union Station back here. So when I design the layout, my reversing section is like 1.5 times that length. So I should never have that problem. And likewise, the staging area for my freight trains is only like 12 cars deep, depending on the size of the cars, 40 or 50 footers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
all right. Well, folks, we're going to call it a day.
Very good. I got grass to mow.
I mowed mine yesterday.
Well, I mowed some yesterday too, but my yard's a little bigger than yours.
You know, when we started this stream an hour and a half ago, it was thunder and lightning. Now it's sunny skies. That's Florida in the summer.
Yes, it is. I've got.
All right, guys and gals. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And
No problem.
Ray, say hi to Tammy and Ray. And we'll see y'all down the tracks.
Y'all
Bye
have
now.
a great day. Bye.